Module 5.3 Pros and Cons of Home Ownership. One of the most important things to do when you're seeking a mortgage or refinancing your existing mortgage is to not simply trust what the mortgage broker tells you. This is a predicament that many people during the housing crisis found themselves in. They had refinanced or taken on new mortgages with terms that they did not understand and that were not revealed to them by their brokers, such as adjustable rate mortgages and balloon payments. Instead, you need to make sure that you're getting a fixed rate mortgage. Therefore, the rate cannot be increased on you during the term of the mortgage. Home ownership has also been found to be related to heavy debt burdens. Many people who buy a house don't really have enough money to afford that house because the house expenses are consuming over 40% of their income. This is not a good situation to be in. On the other hand, other research, such as by Chang and Mui 2015, has found that overall, home ownership does have a good return on investment. So it's definitely something that you have to weigh the pros and cons of. Here are some of the pros of home ownership. Obviously, when you own a home or have a mortgage on a home, you're not paying rent. Instead, you're paying to have ownership of that dwelling. The equity of the house can also be leveraged as a credit line if you need money to finance other areas of your life. The home may appreciate in value, particularly during economic good times. And loans for homes have low interest rates that are much lower than credit card or car loans typically. You can have roommates or sublease when you own your home, whereas if you're renting, that is very much frowned upon. There are a lot of tax benefits and tax savings for home ownership. For example, the mortgage interest that you pay as part of your mortgage loan is tax deductible. And of course, the longer you live in your home, the more the savings may be. On the other hand, there are several cons of home ownership. For one thing, the home is immobile and you cannot move easily. This could be important if you're doing a nationwide job search and need to be able to move anywhere in the country. While you can always rent out your home, this could be a hassle, and of course, your property taxes may increase due to you no longer qualifying for homestead exemption if your state offers that. Homeownership comes with a host of bills, including mortgage, property taxes, homeowners association fees if you are governed by one, and of course your utilities, garbage collection, and other fees and non-ad valorem assessments in addition to the property taxes. While typically homes appreciate, meaning they increase in value, it's also possible for a home to depreciate or decrease in value, as happened recently in the housing market crash. You must do all maintenance on your home or hire people to do the maintenance. Whereas when renting, your landlord is supposed to be responsible for many important maintenance tasks. You must have homeowners insurance to be secure, which is much more expensive than renter's insurance. And if you have a subprime loan where you've paid less than 20% of the principal, typically you'll be required to also hold mortgage insurance until you've paid 20% of the principal. Homes are an illiquid asset, meaning that they take a long time to sell and may be difficult to convert into ready cash. You might not be able to pay your mortgage, in which case you may be foreclosed upon and it can damage your credit. In divorce, a mortgage, a home, owning a home could be bad because then it has to be split. And if you bought it while you're married, you'll most likely have to be split. Whereas if you bought it before you became married, you may be able to keep ownership of it. However, this does add a lot of new variables to a divorce situation. Here is a graph that may help you determine when the housing market is in a bubble. The black solid line represents home values. During the Phase 1 and Phase 2 period, we're usually recovering from a recession and the housing market is expanding. Then there becomes a time when there is too much supply to meet the available demand, which is typically followed by a recession and a popping of the bubble, so to speak. While there are many other variables associated with determining if we're in a housing bubble, keep in mind that if housing prices are unaffordable for the typical American, that may be a bad sign that prices will eventually have to come down.